Hello everyone, welcome back to my class for this week. So, how are you doing? Doing good? I hope everyone is doing good and welcome back to our class. How about the previous class? Do you enjoy? If you enjoy, don't forget to hit the button like. Okay, so for this week, we are going to learn reading. In today's discussion, the objective is for present vocabulary, functions, and structures in the context of a text about a woman's trip to Morocco. B. Read for gifts and identifying the main idea of each paragraph in the text. And the last one, with the text provided, I hope that all of you can answer the questions given. So, let us start. A. Discuss. Have you ever been abroad? If you ask me, yes, I have been before, which is I went to Indonesia during standard 6, which is my age at that time is 12 years old. Second question, what do you enjoy doing when you visit new places? Please leave the comment down below. If you ask me, what I enjoy doing when I visit to the new places is I enjoy going for a sightseeing, attending cultural events, and tasting the local cuisine. You know what? The first time in my life that I drank what we say that avocado juice. Yes, that is my first time ever in my life to drink avocado juice, and it tastes so delicious. And start from that day, when I come back to Malaysia, I even find out the drink. I try to find the drink. So far, Alhamdulillah, whenever I drink, the taste is still same as I have drank at Indonesia before. Okay, so that's mine. Don't forget to drop yours experience down below. Let us proceed. Read the text quickly and match the headings A to G with the paragraph 1 until 4. There are 3 extra headings which you do not need to use. Okay, so here we have 7 headings. Okay, A. A natural delight. B. Things to avoid. C. A scary experience. D. First impressions. E. A rough ride. F. Living with the Bedouins. And G. Gestures and handiwork. Okay. Before we match the headings with the paragraph 1 until 4, let us read the text together. My Trip to Morocco by Amanda Edmonds. I arrived at Marrakech Airport where I met my friend Emily, who had arrived the previous day. She's been to Morocco many times and I couldn't wait for her to show me around. Emily is French, which is cool because they speak Arabic, French, and Berber in Morocco. As soon as I had dumped my bags in the hotel room, we went out to grab a bite. We went to a souk, which is an open-air market by day, but at night it turns into a bustling open-air restaurant with loads of food stalls. It was full of life and everything smelled delicious. I was enjoying the sights as we were walking through the crowd eating our kebabs, and I didn't notice a man yelling at me. He was a snake charmer, and I almost stepped on his cobra because I wasn't looking where I was going. Next paragraph. I had seen many people the previous night with henna tattoos on their hands, so I asked Emily where I could get one. So it was back to the souk, where a little old lady turned my hands into a work of art. She explained that the tattoos would go away 2 weeks later. Afterwards, while walking around the city, I noticed how some people hail taxis. They don't stick out their hand, but they point a finger or even two fingers. I asked Emily why they did that, and she explained that it was a way to tell the taxi driver how many people need a lift. Later, we needed a taxi to get back to the hotel. So, I have it a try. We found a taxi pretty quickly, so I guess it worked fine. Third paragraph. I was a bit nervous about our outing, but as it turned out, I had the time of my life. We went on a 2-day 4x4 excursion to Erg Chibi. This is a place in the Sahara Desert, and it took us most of the day to drive there. But it was definitely worth it. We watched the sun setting over the enormous sand dunes. Then, the real show started as the stars came out and filled the entire sky. Living in the city, I had never seen so many stars. It was magical. I fell asleep that night imagining how wonderful life as Bedouin might be, roaming the desert on camels and sleeping in tent under the stars. Here we go, the last paragraph. A few days later, my dream came true and I got the chance to go camel riding. But it didn't really live up to my expectations. Getting on a camel isn't exactly a piece of cake, but after a bit of a struggle, I managed to get up there. I called my camel Goofy because he had huge teeth. We rode off, but after a while, I felt dizzy and I asked the guide, Moha, if we could stop. Moha told me not to worry as I had get used to it. He also said that camels are known as sheep of the desert. Then it crossed my mind that I was feeling seasick in the middle of the desert. Alright, so we have read all the 4 paragraphs. Now, let us go through each paragraph and find the suitable headings for each paragraph. Okay, so for the first paragraph, it tells that Amanda and Emily, they went to Marrakech in Morocco, and then Emily arrived first at the Marrakech before Amanda arrived, and then however Emily is a French people, okay, but she has been to Morocco many times, so Amanda feels so excited and can't wait for Emily to show her around. However, even Emily is French, but she can speak Arabic, French, and Berber in Morocco. How what we say that is so amazing, right? Because Emily can speak 3 languages. Okay, so then Amanda and Emily went to the hotel. They put their things, alright, and then they went for a dinner. They went to a souk, which is souk here is known as an open market in the day by day, but during night it turns into open air restaurant, or in Malaysia we call it known as night market. Okay, and then there in that open air market and restaurant, the food smelled very delicious and it was full of life. Okay, and then Amanda is really enjoying the sight as they are walking through the crowd eating their kebabs, and until she didn't realize a man yelling at her because she almost stepped on the man's cobra. Okay, so from this first paragraph, what is the suitable answer? The suitable headings for this first paragraph? Yes, correct. The answer is donkey, first impressions. Now, let's move on to the second paragraph. When along the way, Amanda and Emily going for sightseeing, suddenly Amanda saw many people wearing henna on their hands. So she asked Emily where can she get one, and then Emily said it was back to the soap, which there's an old lady will draw the henna on their hands. So Emily explained that the tattoos would go away 2 weeks later. And then they continue walking around the city, and then Amanda noticed that some people are wanting to stop the taxi, but they didn't stick their hand like this, right? Like how we did, but they point a finger or even two fingers. And then Amanda asked, why is it the people use that way instead of stick out their hand? And then Emily said that is their style, and that is how they are telling the driver how many people will leave on the taxi, right? The people need leave. And then she tried to do that gesture. She tried to do that gesture, and unfortunately she got the taxi, and she found that it was a very a good idea, and it really worked. So, and then they get the taxi is very quickly. Okay, class. So, from my explanation and from your understanding, what is the suitable answer for paragraph 2? Anyone? Yes, correct. The answer is G for goofy, which is gestures and handiwork. This is because in this paragraph, it telling you how the peoples at Marrakech Hill stop the taxi. Okay. Second last paragraph. At first, Amanda felt very nervous with their outing, but suddenly it turned out a very wonderful trip. They went for a 4x4 riding to the Erchibi. At Erchibi, it known as Sahara Desert, and it took them a day to drive to Erchibi, but it was really worth it. Okay, it really worth it because at there they can watch the sun setting, and then they can watch the real show, which is the stars came out and fill the entire skies. Right? This is because when Amanda lived in the city, she never seen so many stars like this. Okay, if you realize, even we also living in this city, we cannot see that stars that how many stars but we can count how many stars in the sky. But in Sahara Desert at Earth Chibi, we can't even count because there were so many. Okay, so until Amanda fell asleep that night, and she's imagining that how wonderful the life at Bedouin. Okay, so she imagined that she might be riding the camels and then sleeping in tent under the stars. Okay, so class number 3, what's the answer and what is the suitable heading for this paragraph? Yes, correct. The answer is a natural delight. And here we go, the last paragraph. A few days later, my dream came true and I got the chance to go camel riding. But it didn't really live up to my expectation. Okay, so Amanda, if you notice in the second last paragraph, Amanda dreamed that she want to ride a camel, but suddenly today her riding become what we say that become and then she really what we say that She doesn't expect that her dream will come true, so she's really enjoy when she knew that she can riding the camel. So unfortunately, Amanda realized to ride camel isn't exactly a piece of cake. It is not that easy, but she managed to get up on the camel, which is the camel she gave name Goofy because this camel had huge teeth, right? And then along the way, when Amanda and Emily with the guide rode off, suddenly Amanda felt dizzy. And then she asked the guide, "Can we stop for a while because I felt really dizzy?" But then the guide said, "Is that is not a thing to worry because later she will get to use it, right? She will get used to it." Next, Moha also said that the camels are known as sheep of the desert. This is because in desert, they will use camel as their transport, and they will use as a transport other than 4x4. Okay, so that is why it is known as sheep of the desert. And then suddenly Amanda crossed in her mind that she felt seasick in the middle of the desert. So that was her experience in the Sahara Desert at Marrakech, Morocco. So class, for this last paragraph, what is the suitable headings? Anyone? Yes, correct. The answer is E, a rough ride. Congratulations. So for those that answered wrong, it's okay. At least you have tried your best, and you have tried your best to understand in each paragraph what the writer wants to tell you. It's okay, let us learn from mistake. Okay, so that is the first part. Now, let us move on to the comprehension questions.
Let us begin with the comprehension questions before we proceed with the other exercises. First question, did they arrive at Marrakech airport on the same day? The answer is no, they didn't. Number 2, what languages do they speak in Morocco? Correct, Arabic, French, and Berber. Alright, so number 3, where did Emily and Amanda go to eat? Yes, they went to a souk. And the last question, how long does a henna tattoo usually last? Yes, that's the answer. The answer is 2 weeks. Congratulations in your answer. So now let us proceed with the next exercise. Exercise C. Read the text again and answer the questions. Question number 1. Why was Amelia a useful person to visit Morocco with? The answer is because she had been to Morocco many times and because she spoke French. Number 2. What did Amanda eat on her first night in Marrakech? Yes, she ate kebab. Next question. Why did a man yell at Amanda? Because she almost stepped on his cobra. Number 4. Where did Amanda go to get a henna tattoo? Yes, she went to the souk. Number 5. How many fingers did Amanda hold up to hail a taxi? She held up with 2 fingers. Number 6. How long did it take the girls to get to Erksheibi? Yes, it took them most of the day. Second last question. What impressed Amanda the most on their trip to the desert? Yes, that's the answer. The stars in the sky. And the last question. Why did Amanda want to get off her camel? Because she felt dizzy. That's good. Alright, so let's take a break for 5 minutes and then we will continue with exercise D. For the full answer, I will put at the next slide. Next exercise, part D. Find words or phrases in the text and match them with the definitions below. Number 1. Put something somewhere quickly and carelessly in paragraph 1. The answer is dumb. Number 2. Get a small meal. This also in paragraph 1. What's the answer, class? Yes, correct. Grab a bite. Next question. Excursion. In paragraph 3. Yes, the answer is outing. Number 4. Whole. In paragraph 3 as well. What is the answer? Entire. Correct. Number 5. Wander or travel around an area. In paragraph 4. The answer? Rome. Number 6. Not being as good as one hoped. This one as well in paragraph 4. Yes, correct. Not live up to one's expectations. Second last question. Very easy in paragraph 4. The answer? A piece of cake. Number 8. Realize in paragraph 4. And the answer is cross one's mind. Congratulations, class. You did it. And here we are in the last exercise. Discuss. Would you like to try any of the things Amanda did on her trip? Which ones and why? I give you 5 minutes to state the answer.
5 minutes later.
Okay, class, what's the answer? I would like to visit Shibi. It impressed me the most because there are so many beautiful things one can see there. And I would also like to try camel riding. However, they are all unique traveling experiences.
Okay, so that's all for today's classes. I hope you enjoy. I hope you learn something new, and don't forget to share your experience as well if you want, and leave the comment down below. Thank you for joining today's class, and see you until next week class. Bye!